Hey Sarah, what are we doing?
We're getting ready to go for our last trip to town to stock up for winter.
Yes, we are. I'm not sure exactly of the time, but the train should be here in about 5 minutes. We had word from a friend that they were around 250 around 10 minutes ago, so they should be to us fairly quick. As you can see, winter is fastly approaching. We are in fall, no longer summer. It is September 9th. Leaves are falling, have been falling for about 2 weeks now, and they're really starting to fall hot and heavy. The bears are everywhere. The moose are kind of hiding, but they're out and about. We did see 2 right down there last night when Adam and Phyllis and Stony were heading back to town. So as soon as we get back from town, I got to continue moose hunting, and hopefully we get one, because we're only buying a little bit of red meat this trip. We're gonna buy a bunch of pork and chicken, like bacon, sausage, stuff like that, and then we'll see if I get a moose. I will be coming back into town in early October to get the rest of our red meat if I do not get a moose. So come along for the journey. We're about to catch the train because here it comes. Sarah and I and the dogs are on the way to Anchorage to go to Costco. As you can see, everything is definitely changing colors around here. And of course, it's still raining. Well, we're about 45 minutes outside Anchorage. And we're coming up on the Connect River. And we're going to stop and let the puppies out before we go too far. They need to get their potty break and be fed. Look at those mountains. It's actually not raining here. First stop of the day, Bass Pro Shop. Trip 1 into Costco done. Alright, so we just come out of Costco with the first load of 2 wagons. And we got a jet fighter flying around up there. So far we spent $1,000. Coffee.
Oh, mine's gone.
We have to hide the coffees from the dogs, otherwise they drink them more than we do. Make sure you stay until later in the video where I'm going to break down everything that we purchased. I'll start with doing the dry goods, and then we'll get into the meat after that. We'll do that in the speed ups later on. Well, we're up for round 2.
Yep, cold stuff.
Back into Costco for the frozen stuff and meat. Alright, so we get probably about 100 pounds of veggies here. On to the meat department. Alright, meats and veggies. I'm going to say 1,500. I'm out right in this area. Alright, we're back to the truck. Time to get the whole stuff loaded up. This is going to take a few. On the train are gonna hate us. So I'm actually gonna stick you guys further back. I don't know why I'm getting a glare. Oh well. It's got water on the camera. Hang on. There. I'm gonna stick you guys way back here. All right. Still got coffee. Now both these coolers are about 150 quarts each. They get filled up pretty dang quickly, and guess what? All right, so that's a lot of freaking food. A lot. We actually have to go get another cooler to make this work. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. We'll be back. Now, I didn't do a whole lot of filming actually inside the different stores. I don't feel 100% comfortable doing that, and I knew I'd do a breakdown afterwards, so I didn't have to show you all the different prices. But anyways, hey, we're back at the train yard unloading, getting ready to head home. And it was really unusual to see that one train go by with a caboose on it. I haven't seen a caboose on a train in a long time. So it's kind of cool to see that. Now, the totes we're filling up are provided by the train, and they're forklift onto the train when we're ready to head out. And then we're responsible for unloading when we get to our stop. This was a very large load for us to take home. Normally they're about half this size, but due to moose season and other things that were going on, we didn't really shop this summer. So we decided to do it all at once. And I think next year we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to start stockpiling all the dry goods earlier in the season and then do the meat in September before the train stops running for the season. Next year, we'll shop more at Three Bears to get the dry goods and other things instead of going all the way to Anchorage. Yes, it'll cost us a few bucks more, but it'll save us a lot of time. All right. Just so you guys can see what we go through each time we come to town for a major resupply. This is a large tote. We have 3 very large coolers in there, stuffed full of meat. And it looks like there's 6 or 8 boxes of milk, 4 big totes, a couple small totes. Well, there's like 6 totes in there. A couple of bags of other things. Over here we've got chicken rice, chicken beans, dog food, sugar, booze, miscellaneous things that we picked up in town. Buckets. The buckets are for getting snow in the wintertime. And I've got 2 totes I got to stuff back in the truck. So that's pretty much it. And Miss Sarah's stuffing her cheeks with a Reuben. Anyways, we'll start you guys back up when we're heading on out. As the hurricane train leaves Talkeetna, we're generally one of the first stops made to get offloaded. Thankfully, we have a number of friends that live up the tracks or have homes up the tracks and are always willing to give a hand helping unload the train. They knew we had quite a bit and they stepped up and gave us a hand. Guys, I really appreciate all that you helped us with, and one day I hope to be able to repay you for the generosity and kindness you have shown Sarah and I. All right, well, I just got 2 coolers loaded, a bunch of the milk, our bags, and we still have, let's see, 3, 6, 9 and a half more totes to bring, plus all the grain for the rice, dog food, chicken food, stuff like that, blankets, and tarps and buckets. So we'll be back here in a little bit. Whew, round 2. You want to pull the straps out of there for me? Let's start loading. Let's get to pull these tarps over. I think this silver one we'll use down here as a new cover because it's thicker and it'll last a lot longer than the other ones did. Yep. All right, well, I know this one here is heavy. It's got a bunch of stuff in it, including my moo-moo call. That red one hanging. Let me get it. Okay, there we go. Just try to get a couple of them untangled. When we took the first load back to the house, we discovered that the trails were either underwater or extremely muddy. So we decided to try to do this on one more trip. It took a little bit of ingenuity trying to get these totes all stacked in there with all the rest of the stuff. But guess what? We managed to do it. Let's make sure we get everything buttoned up. Oh! I almost forgot the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
Stair treads. Yeah, no, Rob. Those are not stair treads. Don't mind me. I'm overly tired. With these large loads like this, it generally takes more time to get them loaded and strapped down than it does to drive up the trail, which is about 1.5 miles away. So, we're managing to do it in 2 loads. There's something to be said for living on sailboats for a long, long time and knowing how to pack spaces. We are heading home and we better start processing meat, get batteries charged, check freezers, get freezers going, because we came home with probably about 500 pounds of frozen stuff that needs to stay frozen. Bug in my eye. Anyways, we'll catch you at the house. All right, while you guys are sitting back and enjoying the ride, directly after this is actually going to be me processing a lot of that. And that's where I'm going to start telling you guys what we bought and what the final costs were. So kick back and enjoy the ride. So on the first load, we had roughly about 110 items in there. And it ranges from things like 50-pound bags of pinto beans and cheap rice. That's what I feed the chickens in the wintertime. You know, we got the dog food in there, and I buy bulk spices like cinnamon, Italian seasoning, things like that. There's also things that we can't get easily either, like canned tuna, canned chicken. Yes, I could be canning my own chicken, but I don't have meat birds as of right now. A lot of the things that we buy in large bulk is, like I said, the beans, the rice, dog food, flour, sugars, stuff like that. That's in huge bulk. So on this one here, you said there's about 110 or so items. We spent $1,090.43 on that first load you seen us take out to the truck. All right, so here we go. We're going to start processing all this meat that we bought. We also have to process the vegetables that are frozen. We prefer frozen vegetables over canned vegetables. Number one, the cans are hard to get rid of, and two, they're kind of mushy. So I'd rather have the frozen stuff. It's closer to fresh than the canned stuff. So for our meat products that we purchased, let's start off at the top of my list. We purchased 20 pounds of ground beef, and that is broken down into approximately 1-pound bags. So we have 20 of those. We purchased 2 tenderloins at 8 pounds apiece for a total of 16. I got 24 chops out of that and 4 small roasts. 7 pounds of skinless, boneless chicken breast. 30 pounds of pork cushion meat, which I turned into a number of roasts. We have all kinds of pork roasts for the wintertime this year. 20 pounds of beef petite sirloin roast. 30 pounds of boneless pork butts. 4 pounds of ground pork. 40 pounds of boneless and skinless chicken thighs. Approximately 24 pounds of bacon. I say we need more. Sarah says not so much. I also purchased 2 large briskets, and I believe there are about 40 pounds total. It may be a little less than that. It might be closer to 30 pounds on the briskets. For the meats, I think it come out to roughly around 234 pounds of meat. With the cold stuff that we purchased, we also purchased bags of cheese that we broke down. You'll see that here in a few minutes. Actually, you're seeing it now. To be more individual sized servings. We got 5 pounds of Parmesan, 5 pounds of Parmesan Romano, 5 pounds of mozzarella, and various different types of smaller bags of cheese as well. We did purchase some canned goods, mostly pasta type stuff, as well as the tuna and chicken that I mentioned earlier. We did stop at Three Bears in Wasilla and picked up our coffee because they have a good coffee that I like there, as well as a few other odds and ends like our drinks that we get. We usually keep rum, gin, and bourbon on hand around the house, but when we do want to have a drink. Now, the price I'm about to tell you also includes our re-up on our membership for Costco's, and we get the highest grade that they have. Our grand total for both trips into the store today was $2,257.56 for everything that we purchased while at Costco's. The other stuff we did purchase come out to about $400 or $500 as well. So we're looking around $2,700 for all in all for our winter supplies this year. Stay tuned to the end and make sure you catch when we're going to have our next live. All right, so this is how the pantry looks after our run to Costco. There are a few things still yet to get. Give me a moment and I will show you the freezer. All right, so we're in the moose coffin, which houses our freezers. This is all vegetables and cheese. Quite a bit in there, and 2 bears. And this is the meat freezer. Current temperature on this is -11. And it is full. These blocks are for the ice box. So we are plenty stocked for winter and ready to go. Well, now you see what it takes for us up here in a remote section of Alaska to get our winter supplies in. This year was a little different. We should have done things a little bit differently. We should have started resupplying earlier in the year, but we had so much going on. I had buildings I had to fix here. I had woodsheds to build. We went dip netting and conceal off with Adam and Phyllis from Alaska Cut the Cord. We did moose hunting and a bunch of other things and ran out of time to really do all the resupplying that we normally would have done earlier in the year. So now we're going to make sure we do it the proper way from now on. Well, proper for us at least. Getting everything here from town can be difficult. As you see, it's a train ride, after a truck ride, then a four-wheeler ride, or side-by-side in our case, to the property and then unloading and making sure everything's okay. It's time consuming. It really is. And it's not easy. Our trails have been underwater and laden with mud pretty much since mid-August, and it's getting worse. Luckily, for the last couple of days, we have not had rain. I will be taking one more small trip into town around the 3rd of October. I have to get red meat. Today is September 19th, and I have yet to get a moose. We had a couple of moose in the area when Adam and Phyllis were here, and we weren't able to drop the moose. We were hunting close to the tracks, and just as we seen the moose, the train went by and blew its horn and scared that moose off. The second encounter we had, Adam and I had just gotten up here from picking him up from the tracks. We were on the cabin porch and we heard something. We called back and we heard replies back and then nothing. And we should have just hung around and walked the trail, the lower trail that is, because that's where the moose was. And judging by the size of the hoof prints, it was probably the spike fork that I've been seeing in the area, the spiker. Instead, we went down to the tracks or down by the tracks and stood down there for, probably about 3 or 4 hours trying to get a moose to come out, calling and things like that, and it didn't happen. So now I have 1 day left to get a moose. That's today and tomorrow. And I'm hoping I get one. I can't guarantee anything. So, like I said, I will go in and get red meat in October, and we'll be all good. Sorry, I had a bug bite in my head, so scratching a little bit. Our next live is going to be, ready? On September 28th at 4 p.m. That's a Saturday. We might stick to Saturdays. I'm not sure yet. I will let you know. Okay, it's about to go by. The reason is there's a number of other channels that I watch that are also doing lives on Monday, and I don't want to have to feel rushed doing all the lives. And weekends we don't do a lot. We try not to. So I figure, might as well just do it on the weekends. Anyways, we hope to see you there. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned a little bit on how we live. We will be doing a little bit more videos on how we actually do things up here. Not just working around the house, but on how we have to get things done. Being off-grid, being remote, and only one real access point or means of getting in and out of town here makes us quite unique. We want to share that uniqueness with you all. So, at that, I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. If you get a chance, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.